All right, there are 6 Republican candidates who want your vote in the Republican primary next month for the U.S. Senate seat. The winner of the March 6th election will run against the incumbent, Sherrod Brown. Ohio State Treasurer Josh Mandel is one of those Republicans in the running, and he is with us this morning. So, Josh, thanks for coming in. It's good to meet you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
6 other Republicans running for this nomination. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I started in public service as a city councilman, and then was a state legislator. When I ran for the state legislature, I was in a district that was 2-to-1 Democrat to Republican.
Yeah.
And a lot of the big people with money and power and whatnot said, this is impossible, you can't get elected. I didn't believe them, and so I went out there, I knocked on approximately 19,679 doors. I wore out 3 pairs of shoes, knocking on doors in the snow and the rain and the sleet, and got elected to the Ohio House of Representatives. I spent 4 years there fighting for people here in the state of Ohio, and was also in the Marine Corps. I went through boot camp in Parris Island, South Carolina in the year 2000. I did a tour in Iraq in western Anbar province in 2004.
Right.
And then served in Iraq again as part of the surge in 2007, 2008 in a town called Haditha. And now I serve as the treasurer of the state of Ohio. We're proud of what's going on in the treasurer's office. We just earned from Standard & Poor's the highest rating we can earn on our investments. I manage about a $4 billion investment fund. We earned a AAA rating on that fund from Standard & Poor's. Fitch, another rating agency, issued a rating, their highest rating for the short-term general obligation bonds here in the state of Ohio, and we've done all of that while cutting the budget in our office, about $1.2 million over this biennium. And of the budget I inherited from my predecessor, we took about $400,000 and sent it back to the taxpayers in the General Revenue Fund and said, you know what, if families and small businesses are tightening their belts out there, we're going to do the same thing.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously budgets are an obvious concern, so you had some extra money laying around there, and you gave it back to the taxpayers. When you're running for an office like this, name recognition is one of the key factors. What are you doing to get your name out there and let people, all across the state know who you are?
I'm speaking at Kiwanis clubs, speaking at Rotary clubs, we're speaking at Chambers of Commerce. We're trying to speak to a lot of veterans groups as well. My time in the Marine Corps afforded me the opportunity not only to have the honor of serving with a lot of young men and women from my generation, but also meeting a lot of folks who paved the way for young people like me, who served in World War II and Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and other conflicts. I was watching while I was here in the studio waiting to come on the piece you did on the young lady who just got back from Afghanistan.
Right.
And one of the great things about the service and about the Marine Corps is the tradition. And I believe that folks in previous generations really paved the way for young people like me to have the honor and opportunity to serve my country in the U.S. Armed Forces, and I'm trying to do everything I can to give back to them as well.
Talk about some of the distinctions you're going to try and draw between yourself and Sherrod Brown.
Sure. My bread and butter has been bringing together Democrats, Republicans, and independents to try to rise above partisan politics and move the ball down the field economically for job creation for our state. Unfortunately, Senator Sherrod Brown has been one of the most hyper-partisan politicians in Washington. He's been running for political office since Richard Nixon was president. He's been in Washington for 2 decades, and he's part of the problem. A good example, recently there was a vote in Washington for the Federal Aviation Administration, a reauthorization bill that would have brought new jobs to the United States of America and right here in Dayton in the Miami Valley for unmanned aerial vehicle research at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. For whatever reason, Senator Sherrod Brown decided to vote against those new jobs for the Dayton area and vote against those new jobs for Wright-Pat. I would have voted for it. I would have supported that piece of legislation. And it just seems that while Senator Brown doesn't seem to be a bad person per se, but it seems even in Washington when folks can get together and can work across party lines, he's one of those few people that is just hyper-partisan and refuses to work in a bipartisan manner.
All right. Well, Josh, I'll tell you what, our time is gone, but it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Get back to work in Columbus. And for more on Josh's Senate run, just head to our website and click on Fox 45 in the morning. Next Wednesday, candidate Eric Lamont Gregory will join us, and we'll have a little